So Daniel, you're in the office for a meeting. Is there some fight news coming soon?
Yeah, big news announcing soon. So you know, I'll let these guys talk about it, but I'm gonna be well up for it.
I'm the daddy. I heard you've been calling out everyone else's name. I can't hear mine. Are you ready? Because I'm ready.
Good. Right, let's go. Good. Good. Let's go.
Duh is back and he's making noise, calling out Moses Itauma as if to shake up the heavyweight scene. He's framing it like the fight of the year, putting Itauma directly in his crosshairs with a clear challenge.
Can Sam, we're excited for Daniel's return?
I'm more excited by his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Big news. It's going to be a tough fight, good fight, quality fight. Everybody's going to love it when they hear it. It's a big, big fight.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're excited?
No.
But the question is, can Dubois really back up these words? Dubois doubles down, pointing straight at Itauma as the rising name he wants to take on. He's framing this as his big chance to reclaim the spotlight, making it sound like Itauma's success is exactly what he wants to steal.
And as I said before, everything with the beginning has to have an end.
You said that again, brother.
He's always got to go.
I'm not putting too much pressure on the outcome of the fight. I know my game plan, I know what I need to do, so...
Next, Dubois adds more fuel, talking about what makes this return different. Here, Dubois tries to convince everyone that this comeback is different. He insists he's stronger mentally, more focused, and that Itauma and his team are in for a surprise. His words are framed to sound like a warning that he's a new version of himself, ready for a bigger test.
You know, I'm pissed off as well, but shit happens and it's one of them things.
Suspicious, talking about the Usyk fight already. Do you have a response to Team Parker, Daniel?
Yeah, that was none of my plans. My plan was to go out there and stop his fight at Parker, and, go through him. So, there was no plan.
But Itauma isn't sitting silent. His reaction says it all. Moses. Itauma cuts straight to the truth. Dubois is a man with a record of pullouts and knockouts, yet he still dares to chase a fight. It shows more desperation than determination. Itauma doesn't even need to respond. Dubois already looks like he's overreaching.
I don't even know. I'll go take my house to Daniel. What?
Are you not entertained?
And even the promoters know if Dubois comes back, he has a lot to prove. Even Frank Warren tries to paint a picture of hope for Dubois. But let's be honest, learning from losses is one thing, but quitting under pressure is another. At 27, Itauma looks hungrier and sharper, while Dubois is still trying to convince the world he belongs at that level.
I thought up until that round, I thought it was a pretty good fight to watch. And Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27 years of age. I look back at, Frank Bruno, for example. 3 times he fought for the world title, and he got it in the fourth attempt. And Daniel, he's won a world title. So
Johnny Nelson lays out the reality. Fight day separates the real from the pretenders, and that's where Dubois has always cracked. While Itauma thrives under pressure, Dubois has too often been caught living in that make-believe land, where talk is loud but actions fall short.
He's in a room with civilians, with people that are not getting in the ring, are not putting their life on the line to totally get smashed if they get it wrong. They're living in make-believe land. He's the one that's getting in there to do the job. You have to take yourself away from that and put yourself on another level of existence. You've got to do that. And fighters will understand what I'm saying.
And when analysts look deeper, they see the same weakness repeat itself. Tony Bellew nails it here. Dubois showed flashes of power, but after that, he went missing. One body shot isn't a strategy, it's a moment of luck. That's been the story of his career. Strong at the start, but when real resistance comes, his will disappears. Against Itauma, that fragile mentality will be his undoing, because Moses is not just young and hungry, he's relentless. Dubois doesn't want the trenches, and Itauma thrives in them. If Dubois couldn't keep up with Usyk, how's he supposed to survive the storm Itauma will bring?
Guys, he landed one decent body shot the whole fight, to which Usyk tapped his belly and just said, "What was that?" And then there was zero else coming back. And that's, in my opinion, that's the attitude and that's the mentality of a guy that when the going gets tough, he doesn't want to fight. And you can never change that.
And Carl Froch sums up why this mindset will never cut it at the elite level. Carl Froch explains the brutal truth of boxing. This sport is war, not play acting. But Dubois has never carried himself like a warrior. When the pressure's on, he doesn't step forward into battle. He looks for a way out. That's why the Itauma fight feels all wrong for him. Moses embodies that fight mode, the mentality Froch describes, while Dubois has shown time and again he lacks that gear. This isn't about who hits harder, it's about who refuses to break. Itauma's spirit is unshakable. Dubois' spirit, on the other hand, has cracked in the spotlight before.
And socialize. You're not in party mode, you're in fight mode. You're in, I could be walking to a certain death mode here. This is the hurt game. This is a dangerous, hard sport where people get seriously injured in there. And when you're fighting, you want to be in the mode of fight zone, fight mode. Let's go, I'm going to battle, I'm going to war, I'm a fucking warrior. I'm going in there to do some damage and potentially getting some damage done to me.
Shane Mosley tries to soften the blow by crediting Usyk, but let's not pretend Dubois was ever truly in the right mindset. The fight showed exactly what's been said for years. When faced with an elite opponent, Dubois lacks the mental steel to adapt. Usyk didn't just beat him with size. He dismantled him with skill, patience, and heart. Itauma may not have Usyk's experience yet, but his mentality mirrors that same relentless edge. Dubois is walking into another nightmare scenario. If he couldn't handle Usyk's pressure, he won't survive Itauma's intensity. This comeback is already on shaky ground.
No, I think Daniel was in the right mindset. I mean, I just think that Usyk had too much for him, like too much mental, too much experience, too much. He had too much for him. There was nothing he could do about that. If it was a smaller Usyk like it was when he fought the first time, maybe Dubois had a good chance. But now that Usyk's bigger and stronger, he already has this. So yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for the heavyweight division now.
And when other fighters watched closely, they saw Dubois breaking down long before the end. David Ailey exposes what we all saw. Dubois hesitated, overthought, and handed Usyk control within seconds. That's not a champion's instinct. That's fear creeping in before the fight even heats up. Dubois is now screaming, "I am back," as if words can erase that performance. But against Itauma, overthinking will be fatal. Moses won't give him 30 seconds to breathe. He'll storm straight in and test Dubois' heart from the first bell. And history tells us exactly how that ends. Dubois folding under fire. His so-called comeback already reeks of the same weakness.
With that assessment,
Daniel was thinking too much. There's times when I could see Daniel being a bit hesitant. He was sitting there thinking. He did let his right hand go and he did throw a lot of shots, but I think sometimes when you overthink it, you give Usyk too much time. And when you give Usyk time, you kind of let him play at his own sort of pace. Usyk established the jab from like the first 30 seconds, which was, look, like it just shows his level, right?
And when Dubois himself talks about his return, it sounds more like frustration than confidence. Dubois says he's back, angry, and ready to fight everyone, but we've heard this before. After every setback, he promises a reinvention, only to repeat the same collapse when the spotlight shines. Wanting to silence the critics isn't enough, you have to prove it in the ring. And Itauma is the worst possible test for someone with Dubois' fragile track record. While Moses climbs with real hunger and consistency, Dubois is left clinging to words. "I am back" is easy to say, but when Itauma presses forward, will Dubois finally stand his ground or find another excuse to quit?
I got on my radar. I want to put someone to sleep again and get back out there and show the people that, I am the man. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready for everything.
Johnny Nelson touches on a deeper truth. Dubois isn't just limited in the ring, he's trapped by the environment around him. At elite level, fighters need independence, authority, and a mental edge. Dubois has never shown that strength, always looking like someone else is pulling the string. Even within his own family, Caroline has chosen a different path, which tells you everything about the cracks in that setup. And now, despite shouting "I am back," Dubois still feels like a fighter running on borrowed belief, not his own. Against it, Itauma, that weakness will be brutally exposed, because you can't fight a rising star while still fighting yourself.
Get yourself far, but when you get to elite level, you can't get away with it. I don't think Daniel has the capability, strength in regards to talking to his dad or standing up to his dad or standing up to that setup. I don't think he has the strength to do that, and which is why it will always hold him back. You got to look. This is personal business, so I don't know the ins and outs of it. Caroline, she, as far as I know, she doesn't work with her dad. There must be a reason.
Daniel Dubois says, I am back. But what does that really mean when history shows us the opposite? Every time the stage gets big, Dubois finds a way to crumble. Parker, Usyk, the pullouts, the stumbles. Now he wants to use Moses Itauma, a rising powerhouse, as his shortcut back to fame. But here's the problem. Itauma isn't just another name, he's the future of the division, and he carries the hunger Dubois lost a long time ago. If Itauma wins, he doesn't just beat Dubois, he erases him from the conversation completely. And if Dubois somehow manages to win, it'll feel like a pause button, not redemption, because that weakness inside him doesn't go away. Boxing is about heart, grit, and mental toughness. Itauma has it all, Dubois has none. So fans are left with one burning question: is Dubois really back, or is this fight his final downfall?